episode is them living their life together, their married life, and it's great. They eventually have to fend off some raiders, and one of them gets paralyzed from the waist down. And they grow old together, and I mentioned earlier, this episode in a vacuum is great. It's actually a genuinely touching story. It's totally fine. I enjoyed it for the most part. It's a waste of time. I mentioned they didn't use the brevity very well here. You already have a full flashback episode in this 9-episode series. You put another one for one reason only, and we know what the reason is. I don't even need to say it to all the seals on the internet clapping that this is the best thing. This episode is the best thing HBO has ever done. This is the shining example of what adaptation should be like. It is nonsense to me. It is a waste of time. The second to longest episode in the whole series.
I mean,
it's crazy to me.
So what I do understand is like the contextualizing of, any dead body they come across could be a story like this. You know, that's like, I guess that's what they're getting at. You know, I guess that makes sense. That is a lot of time to deliver that. Especially
it's a character. It's the character you meet in the game, but they kill him off. You don't actually meet him. I'll finish the end that really set me off. Not only was it a waste of time, 75 minutes or whatever it was. What really set me off here was the very end. Katie disagrees with me. She agrees, like, yeah, that does not need to be there. That didn't further the story at all, except for them getting the battery. They could have used more to show more of what was actually there. This is where her and I disagree. I wonder how you would feel about it. Maybe just watch episode 3. Because as I mentioned, in a vacuum, I would probably enjoy it except for the end here. Okay, so the guy that got trapped became Nick Offerman's husband. Eventually gets cancer. Maybe he's just sick with something else, but he's very sick, and they're pretty old at this point. He's in a wheelchair. He's barely making it. He's got to take a bunch of pills every day. He's done. All right. So he leaves a letter for Nick Offerman. And he can't quite say it to... I think this is how it works. Maybe he does say it, but I feel like he left a letter. It doesn't matter. They're sitting in the living room and he's reading this letter out loud. Nick Offerman is, with his husband sitting right there. And it's talking about how he wants this to be his last day. He's going to kill himself at the end of the day. He wants Nick Offerman to do these many things for him. Make him this beautiful dinner, which is great. I honestly, why wouldn't you do that? If you knew it was your spouse's last day, give them the best day they can. And he's wanting Nick Offerman to do all these things, and finally put this pound of pills in his wine, crush it up and put it in his wine at the end of the night, and he'll go to bed and not wake up. It'll be totally peaceful. It'll be a nice romantic day. And Nick Offerman is crying the whole time. I can't do it. I can't do this. And this is what really set me off. His husband says, "Do you love me?" Nick Offerman says, "Yes." "Then love me like I want you to." And that statement, I know the world is so different and morality is so different in this sort of dystopian fiction. But that statement is one of the most selfish things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Not even getting into the argument of suicide being selfish or not. I'm not even sure I would call it selfish. I'm not having that argument. This, though, his husband is there weeping. "I can't do this to you." He's not even telling him not to do it. He's saying, "I can't be the one to do it. Love me like I want you to." And he goes through the whole day. He takes him to the store to get clothes, which they I guess they aren't using the closet. There's this whole town that they've sort of have to themselves. They go to the little boutique that they set up. They pick out some new clothes. They go pick these nice fruits and vegetables from their garden. He makes a beautiful dinner. And then they sit down. He has a bottle of wine. And Nick Offerman, they start drinking. And the his husband is like, wait, I would expect it to taste a little different. Did you put it all in here? And he says no. And they realize, oh, you put it in yours too. No, what have you done? You can't kill yourself. And like he can't go on living. He just said like this is it for me. I can't do this. And so finally they both go to bed together and they die there in the room. A letter is left there for Joel. He expects Joel to come find him sooner than later. Anyway, it was that's what really put it over the edge for me.
Yeah, that I mean.